Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. You will love it or you will hate it. I, unfortunately, was on the hate it table. Now, I'm going to say straight from the off, it doesn't mean that you know it's bad taste or anything like that, or you can't love it or anything along those lines. I just think this will be incredibly divisive. And, you know, it's not to say that you're wrong with your opinion on this. I just thought this was a really, really terrible film for many, many reasons, which I will obviously outline here. And there will be some slight spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers, just click off the video. But I cannot recommend anyone watch this film. I had a very bad time with it. No one was laughing in my cinema at all. Genuinely, no one laughed at all. And it was just this weird dead air when everyone got up at the end of the film. So if that's anything to go by, I don't know. It's difficult. I just can't recommend this film. So again, you've had your spoiler warning. Shall we discuss it? It's really bad writing. It doesn't know what it wants to be. And it's a shame because I enjoyed Afterlife. I thought Afterlife, I wasn't like enamored with it. I thought it was fun, right? I thought it was a fun film, bit charming, stuff like this. I thought it was fine. Serviceable as a re-entry into the franchise. This, as a continuation, it's just terrible. There are so many weird themes running through it that its characters are sort of struggling with, right? So you've got Dan Aykroyd's Ray Stantz. Essentially, his character's struggling with the fact that he's like a paranormal thrift shop owner. And, you know, he's in his prime, so should he give that up? It's really weird, right? So there's that. Bill Murray's in it, obviously, as Venkman. He was good for what he was in. You know, it's good to see the oldies back, but they didn't really do anything. They were barely really in it. Then you have Paul Rudd's Mr. Gruberson struggling with being a stepdad, but not. Do I step up to the plate? Do I not? So you've got the oldies trying to deal with the fact that they're old. You've got Mr. Gruberson dealing with the fact that he's now a father figure, but he doesn't know where he fits into that. You've then got Finn Wolfhard's character, Trevor, dealing with the fact he wants to be taken seriously as an adult. Right? There's more, guys. There's more themes running through this film. You've then got McKenna Grace, Phoebe Spengler, dealing with the fact that she's young and smart and is like kicked off the team because she's young. And no one likes her or some nonsense. I don't know. It's really weirdly done. It's basically like overprotective parents is the theme there. Odd. Really, really odd. Then you have Kumail Nanjiani's character dealing with the fact that he is also now is like part of a lineage. This fucking film was terrible. It was all over the place. It was really all over the place. If you just focused on one of those themes, one or even just two of those themes, it would have been a much better film. They barely did any ghost busting. They busted a ghost at the start. And then what they look, you know, that serpent thing that was in the trailer, right? The sewer dragon. Then it looks like what they tried to do was build out the universe in the hopes that this film would do well so they could make more films. That's basically what it looks like. That's genuinely what it looks like to me. Now, Ernie Hudson's character, Winston, great. He did a lot more stuff. Lots of dialogue. He's basically running a paranormal activity research facility. He's rich. He's funding the Ghostbusters. He bought the fire station. He gave it to the new Ghostbusters. Fine. You know, fine. Annie Potts as Melnitz. Sure. Nice nod, I guess. I don't know. James Acaster, who is a very unfunny comedian in the UK. Painfully unfunny in this, as well as his stand-up. Fucking God. I don't know why he's in this. He is awful. He trends every now and then because there's a famous bit where he tries to demean Ricky Gervais for ripping on like you know, sort of the woke ideology and stuff. He's a terrible comedian. He's absolutely dog shit. Anyway, this film doesn't know what it wants to be. It is genuinely all over the place. What's the story, right? So I've got to some of the main issues. What's the story and what happens? So it opens with them chasing the sewer dragon. And then they cause a bunch of damage, right? Obviously. You've seen it. It's in the trailer. And then they get called in to Peck, who is the mayor, Walter Peck. He's the mayor now. And he's like, how old's she? She can't be on the team. McKenna Grace's character. So that's what leads her to being kicked off the team, basically. But it's not really kicked off the team. Like, it's smart. Makes sense. You know, you're risking your life, whatever. Sure, fine. So she's kicked off the team, but not in like a nasty way. And then, whilst that's happening, whilst that has happened, or simultaneously is happening, Kamal Nanjiani's character walks into Ray Stance's shop with a bunch of artifacts. You've seen it in the trailer. Trying to sell them. It's from his grandmother's. One of them is the orb or the sphere of Garaka. I think the deity's name was Garaka. And he's like this god that can freeze everything, I guess. And Garaka from inside this orb is communicating with ghosts, trying to get him to do his bidding so he can be freed. And what happens from here, bizarrely, McKenna Grace's character goes to play chess. A ghost appears before her, Melody. And they interact another 2 times, right? They interact another 2 times. Then they meet a 3rd time. So it's not really a blossoming relationship. It's not like a friendship. It's a bit odd. It feels like they've cut a blossoming, developing infatuation out of it. Because there's this odd lingering... Some people disagree. I get that. But I didn't see it as platonic. It seemed very odd. It seemed awkward. Right? And then on the 3rd time they meet, McKenna Grace is like, I'm just going to... I can exist on your plane of dimension. I'm just going to go and try and remove my spirit from my body. Like, why would you do that? Unless you were falling in love. Right? Like, why would you do that? To touch one another, basically. Of course it is. It just seemed like such a weird thing to include. And some people will go, no, that's not the case. Fine. You think whatever you want. To me, these weird... It just didn't make any sense. Why you would... It's not a friendship. They've interacted 2 times. The 3rd time, she goes to pull her spirit from her body. It's not a friendship. Didn't seem that way. Anyway. Alright? And anyways, this was all orchestrated by Melody. And McKenna Grace pulls her spirit from her body. Garaka possesses it. Frees himself. And then goes to try and kill the Ghostbusters. And the Ghostbusters kill him. And that's it. A lot of it was trying to establish a film universe. Very clearly so they could make more movies. But that was it. It was a film. To me, it was terrible. To some people, you guys will absolutely adore it and love it. And you know what? Neither is right or wrong. But I thought it was dog shit. So there you go. Take care.